Who are the child sellers? Who are the human traffickers who had put more than 300 Indian origin passengers on a plane to Nicaragua? Did these passengers willingly board the plane, or were they forced to embark on a dangerous journey? We broke the story on Friday. We told you how a plane with 303 Indian origin passengers were grounded in France. The story has taken unexpected turns over the last 48 hours, and some of the details are extremely grim. Let's now start with a quick recap. On the 21st of December, a plane with 303 Indian origin passengers had taken off from Dubai. This plane was en route Nicaragua. It stopped at France's Watry airport for refueling. This airport is located around 150 kilometers from Paris and mostly serves budget airlines. The plane in question was being operated by a Romanian airline. It is called Legend Airlines. The company has 4 planes. This one was chartered by a client who remains unnamed. After this plane landed in France for refueling, French authorities refused to clear it for takeoff. The plane was then halted. The French prosecutor later said it had received an anonymous tip-off. Someone had informed the authorities that the plane was carrying potential victims of human trafficking. So the plane was grounded. French investigators sprung into action. They carried out identity checks, also checked the conditions in which the passengers were traveling. All passengers were questioned. First, they were told to remain inside the aircraft. Later, a hall was set up for them. Cots were brought in. Passengers were given access to showers and washrooms. They were given meals and hot drinks. 4 French judges questioned the passengers. Reports say some passengers spoke Hindi, some Tamil. Reports say authorities found that over 10 passengers were unaccompanied minors. We don't know exactly how old these minors were, but the very fact that they were traveling alone in a plane that found itself grounded, all this raises alarm. Were these minor victims of human trafficking? Again, we don't have any answers yet. 2 people on board this flight are of particular interest. They are both men, and they have been detained by France's specialized unit. Reports claim that at least 12 passengers of this plane have requested asylum in France. What was happening in this plane? There were way too many red flags. Consular staff from the Indian embassy in Paris were given access to these passengers. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, the embassy said, and I'm quoting here, "We continue to work with the French government for the welfare of the Indians currently at the Watry airport, 150 kilometers east of Paris, and for early resolution of the situation. Embassy consular staff stationed there thank French authorities for working on this through the long holiday weekend." Now, the passengers stayed at the airport on Friday night. They also spent their Saturday there. The plane has now taken off from France and is en route Mumbai. The expected time of arrival is 11:30 p.m. IST. But the story does not end with touchdown. If anything, it's just the start. There are so many questions regarding this mystery flight and little to no answers. Who chartered the plane? Who are the child sellers? How is that plane had so many unaccompanied minors? Where were they going? And under whose care, most importantly? Where are the parents? Were these children sold to human traffickers, or were their parents duped? Were they sold the dream of a better life? Above all, who is behind it all? Here's one name that has come up: Shashi Kiran R. As per reports, the man runs a human trafficking network. His modus operandi includes chartering flights, taking people to Nicaragua and then smuggling them into the United States. Reddy's name came up back in 2022 after a couple and their 2 children froze to death. The 4 were trying to illegally enter the US from Canada. They were being trafficked from Gujarat in India. Their bodies were found in Manitoba, Canada. And cut to this weekend, as per reports, more than 90 passengers in this mystery plane were from Gujarat. Shashi Kiran R has been in the business of human trafficking for more than 15 years now, from preparing documents to sneaking people into America in container trucks. Reddy takes care of it all. He was arrested following the Manitoba deaths, but was released because there simply wasn't enough evidence against him. Legend Airlines claims its client, who chartered the plane, did provide documents for all the passengers. And as per these documents, all the travellers had valid passports and the permit to go to Nicaragua. As for the allegations of human trafficking, the airline says, and I quote, "The company cannot check the criminal records of the people transported. 303 people is not a number that raises alarm. They are not locked in a truck without ventilation and food." Here is what else is being widely reported. It is possible that the passengers of this plane were travelling through Nicaragua in order to try and enter into the United States or Canada illegally. Some reports say that of the 303 Indian origin passengers, some could have been working in the United Arab Emirates. But what we need to remember here is that neither of these claims has been confirmed by authorities in India. So we need to wait for an official statement and then bring these child sellers to justice. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.